Now we're rolling. All right, good morning or good afternoon, depending on where you are. Here are your two favorite mechanics back at it. The World Champion Garage, and today with us is Uncle Tiny, and we have his E350 2014, a W212 with a very well-known problem in the Mercedes Benz community, and that is a pulsating brake. And we're going to show you in this video of what the cause is, why this happens, and why people are spending money on rotors which they really don't need if they would do what they needed to do. If you bring your car into a place to have something repaired or for maintenance, make sure that they're lubricating your brakes. We're going to show you this. And this is the reason why Uncle Tiny came to us, to the World Champion Garage.
That's
because
right.
He was tired of getting taken to the cleaners, right? He didn't want any more. He doesn't have a donkey at home which poops gold, right? So we're going to show you now where the problem is. We have to probably come down here, so
We're rolling.
yeah, we're rolling. Okay, so we have taken already the brake caliper off, and the first thing I wanted to show you is the inner brake pad. And I hope we can see this. Can you see this, Clay?
Yep.
See how this is thinner here than it is here. And this is an indication that the brake pad actually is duct. And this is the inner one which goes here. And that is an indication that our brake rotor is actually starting to warp. And the cause of this is these little guide pins here which move. And they need to be lubricated. You can see this, it moves harder in this direction and a little bit easier in this. And let me see that I can take one of them out. They come out like this here. And then you just pull them out. And they need to be lubricated on the inside of the boot. Can we zoom in there? You can see this, the boot is basically bone dry. And they should be lubricated at least once a year. And Mercedes Benz has a special brake grease for this, and depending on which model you have, that is the one which goes into here. See, they're getting reinserted just through here. You have to kind of get this past the push it through. There we go. And then it sits in here and snaps in. If you use the wrong grease on those, that will destroy the boots. I have not been able to find the boots as individual items to replace them, which means you basically have to buy a new caliper, brake caliper for this whole thing. And the way we get the piston back in is just with a regular C-clamp like this. We had it pushed out a little bit to make sure it was working freely. And then you just go on and push it. Is it going in? I think so, yeah. Whoops, I got it on the wrong way. This is the only C-clamp we found. But that should work because we did it once. There we go. And before you squeeze the piston into the caliper back in, make sure that you have drained some of the fluid out of your reservoir. Otherwise, you're going to push all of the stuff back out, because it will come back up in there. Okay, we got this here, back in here. So today what we did is we did only an inspection to tell Uncle Tiny to tell him what he has to buy now, unfortunately. And we just ran to the store. We got one pack of this regular brake lubricant, and this has to go onto the backside of the brake pads here. And then we have to lubricate these here. And you can see this on how rusted this is. So whoever did the last brake job did not lubricate the points here, this here and this here, where these move over. And then they get angled in, they get twisted like this. This is the secondary problem where this is coming from. So we're gonna apply regular brake pad lubricant here, here, and here. And then we put this together, and then Uncle Tiny will have to order a new set of brake pads and a new rotor for both sides. And then we will have to check the rear, and we will order the correct grease for these guide pins here, these guide channels. And that will be then another video in about, I would think, probably 3 weeks, right? You said you're gonna be
about
back
3 weeks.
3 weeks. Clay is gonna be back in 3 weeks. By then we should have the parts, and then we're gonna fix this. And when we're fixing it, we will make a second video of this. And that's basically it for today. But this is where the causes, or where this is coming from, that you wind up with warped rotors on those cars. I think the 213s have the same issue. Whatever car manufacturer you have which has this style of brake caliper with these movable guide pins here, these are the ones you have to lubricate. And it is Mercedes Benz recommends it that this lubrication is done once a year or every 7,500 miles. Usually when you do an oil change, that's when they need to be lubricated. If you don't, you will be buying brake rotors. And so it might be a good idea to buy stocks in a company which makes these brake rotors. At least you can recuperate some of it. Okay, and then we're gonna be working here a little bit later on my car, and we're gonna be changing the distributor, the ignition distributor. I got a new one, and that came from Tony Live TV. Tony, if you're watching this, we're saying hi to you. We're gonna mention you later again. And then we're gonna go eat after that, right? I'm hungry already, but Uncle Herb said we gotta work first, so we better get it done. Alrighty, we see you in the next segment. All right, thanks.
Peace out. Rolling.
All right, we're rolling. Places, we're rolling. So now we fixed my car. We got Uncle Tiny all doctored up for the moment, right? And he is happy, and he left us some money. We made some money today. So that's a good thing. We won't tell you how much, but we're good. And now I want to show you what we found in my car. If you have watched my videos, then you know that I had this very particular distributor out of the car when I redid my engine intake, which I called the series of the big repair. And this was in the beginning of January 2021. So 2 years, 8 months ago, roughly 7 months ago. And about 3 weeks ago, my idle went really erratic. It was really rough, and it was going, I could feel really the vibrations and everything. And thanks to Tony in Arizona, his channel is Tony Live TV. I'm gonna put a link in. Tony is one of my followers here, and he is a real big fan of the World Champion Garage because he's a Lakers fan. Don't tell anyone that we know the secret. So he is real happy with this. And Tony put a new or rebuilt distributor in, because if you take a close look at it, we took it just out of mine, you can see that this ring here has really fallen apart. The other half is somewhere in my oil pan, or it may be in the oil strainer. This is how it came out. And now you can see this. When this thing here breaks, this thing here goes up and down like this. And this will cause a rough idle, a real rough idle. And Clay and I would just put the rebuild unit from, what is that, Cardone? Let me get the box. This is the same one Tony got from Live TV, Cardone. We built it better, we put it in, and we just did a test drive, and the engine is smooth.
Runs beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful. But after, this is now exactly 13,000 miles driving after I did the big repair, and I had this distributor out. And like I said, as it came out with this half a ring, this thing here, can you, is it zooming? Mm-hmm. This thing here hanging by a limb on here. And of course you can imagine how this thing was shaking like this. It was go, if it would have fully fell out, This is what the full movement looks like it. So we had to retire this puppy here, and we put the rebuilt one in. I would like to thank Tony from Live TV of pointing this out. And this was by pure chance that this thing actually, here's the last parts. This is how it came out, but it isn't a full ring. You can see it. There's a one part fell already in there. So this was no longer doing its job, and this is what caused the rough idle. I mean, it was really, really vibrating. And now we have only, Clay and I, we have only my timing issue on the timing chain left with my offset Woodruff key. And we will probably clean out the hydraulic compensating elements, because Clay did such an excellent job on his car when he cleaned them. I figure I'm going to hire Clay now and have him do it on my car, because that is one thing I haven't done, is to check the shims, which are in there if they're still at the right height, the changing the offset Woodruff key, and the hydraulic compensating elements. And sometimes in the next 2-3 months, probably when it gets cooler, we will pull my car in here, and we're going to do this on mine, because he said I have to do work on my car.
That's right.
I said, okay, if I work, we're going to do it here, and Clay is going to help me, and that means I have to pay now for lunch. But how do we say we're done for today? Folks, that's all, right?
That's all, folks. I believe. That's all, folks.
That's all. We're going to go eat.
We're going to eat.
We're going to go eat. You have a great afternoon, and thank you for watching.
Peace out.
Peace out.